very good morning to you guys. Welcome to Asaki Online. This is the Breakfast Club. Over the past few weeks, I've been talking about elections, recalls, elections, and recalls. Soon we're going to the by-election. On Tuesday, we're going to the nomination court, and then we're going to elect our new councillors again and MPs. And today, we want to talk about accountability, integrity, and transparency. And joining me today to unpick that is Zibusiso John Dube from Accountability Lab. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Brighton. How are you?
I'm fine. Let's talk about Accountability Lab. What does the lab do?
Okay, thanks for that, Brighton. The Accountability Lab works to promote good governance. So we seek a world where governance works for the people. And we do this in different ways. We run a couple of programs, which include an Arts for Change program, an accountability incubator, an integrity icon in the civic and civic action teams. I think I'll just try to explain a bit on what each of these programs does. So the Accountability Incubator, we trains and resources young civic leaders who are doing work to promote accountability in their communities. So we just train them for a year so that they can better go to their communities to promote accountability and transparency on governance issues. And then in our Arts for Change, we have two components, which is the Voice to Rap, where we train and mentor aspiring musicians so that their music addresses issues that are affecting people in communities. The Film Fellowship is similar. The difference being that in that one we train aspiring filmmakers so that they can make films that address community issues. Then in our communities work, we have the civic action team, or in short CIVICs, where we go into communities, we find out what challenges people are facing, and then solutions are designed and co-created with solution holders in those communities. It's done in a cyclical manner where we begin by listening sessions to hear what challenges people are saying, and then we do verification of that information to make sure that we have the correct information on what's happening in communities. Then thereafter we do listening sessions, we do bulletins, where we share information on what people have been saying, and then we call community meetings, community dialogues, where solutions can be co-created with the communities. And then our last program that we're working on is the Integrity Icon, where we celebrate civil servants who are going over and beyond the call of duty in performing on their mandates. So we want to shift from always blaming public servants to celebrating those who are doing well in their spheres of influence and in their work. So basically that's what we do. We seek to make governance work for the people. We're promoting accountable institutions, we're promoting active citizens, and we're promoting responsible leaders.
Speaking of institutions, like in terms of accountability, do you think our Chapter 12 institutions, our ZAC, our ZEC, these commissions, different commissions, are they willing to be held accountable? Even our local authorities, I know we've been working with the group as well, the previous life. Do you think our institutions, our local, are willing to be held accountable?
Okay, that's a very difficult question. I like to tell people that things to do with governance and accountability are on one hand about the institutions that we have in place to promote accountability, but they are also about whether individuals and people are willing to have integrity or to be held accountable. Combining both is important to understanding this very well. But in terms of the laws in Zimbabwe and the design of institutions, there are some ways that these institutions can be held accountable. You already say there are Chapter 12 institutions because it's in Chapter 12 of the Constitution that we have institutions like the Gender Commission, the Zimbabwe Media Commission, and so forth. So the Constitution itself is a tool that we as citizens and other members of the society can use to hold these institutions accountable. So there are avenues available. So it's also up to us as citizens to be innovative and to actively participate in trying to hold these institutions accountable.
I think we came out of the elections. I just spoke about elections, 23 August elections, and we saw the new group of councillors coming through, new MPs being sworn in and so on. But according to saying corruption being rampant in Zimbabwe, are we electing women and men of integrity?
Okay. The question, are we electing women and men of integrity? I can't say whether the MPs and councillors that were elected in August are people of integrity or not, because I haven't done the analysis or the research to understand it like that. But generally, what I've seen from the past is that Zimbabweans do tend to elect people based on political party lines, sometimes without thoroughly analyzing or deducing whether those people stand for the values that the electors stand for.
Yeah.
So that's something that needs to be fixed in terms of our civic education and our electoral awareness raising. In Zimbabwe. So we need young people to come up with innovative ideas to ensure that we do civic education and voter education that ensures that people understand why they are voting and the importance of elected officials in ensuring good governance in societies. Yeah.
Now let's speak about the Accountability Lab, Entrepreneurs. I know one of the co-hosts of Activity from Concordia, we have Descent from a Dope Initiative, and also Nandi from mental health issues. Let's talk about that. How does one get to be part of these codes?
Okay, so as we speak right now, we're in the process of opening up applications for the 2024 Accountability Incubator. So if one keeps tabs on our website, which is www.accountabilitylab.org, or you keep tabs on our social media on Twitter and Facebook, we're Accountability Lab Zimbabwe. If you search on those platforms, you'll see calls for applications to participate as an accountapreneur. One can simply go there and apply to be part of that process, where we train, mentor, and resource young people with innovative ideas to promote accountability in their communities. Yeah, so that's one way to participate. So in terms of eligibility, to be an accountapreneur, one has to be between the ages of 18 and 35, because we're seeking for young people with new solutions. Then they also have to have an innovative idea promoting accountability. They need to be a resident of Zimbabwe and a citizen of Zimbabwe. Yeah, those are the main criteria. Yeah.
Maybe let's speak about maybe previous cohorts. What are some of the innovative ideas you guys received? And maybe you can mention names as well and some of the initiatives.
Okay, yeah, there have been quite a number of innovative initiatives. In our inaugural cohort in 2021, one of our entrepreneurs was Decent Dube. He's got an initiative called Matobo Youth Development Initiative, where he's trying to bring governance issues to a rural community, something that is very rare in Zimbabwe. So within the Matobo community is convening meetings, bringing communities to engage with solution holders so that solutions are found to challenges that people face. And then he's also running a community magazine to make sure that stories of development challenges faced in Matobo are shared locally and within Zimbabwe at large. So those are the kind of innovations we're looking for that seek to address community challenges. From that same cohort in 2021, we also had someone called Courtney Mkoy, who was using, he's into civic tech and has designed some exciting solutions, such as an application called Astria Justice that provides users with critical information on how to access justice in Zimbabwe. Just from your phone. So through the application that it designed, you can see, for instance, you can access the Bill of Rights, and then you can also see what police stations or courts or lawyers are available in your community, so that if you are facing challenges, you are able to access justice in the palm of your hand, as it were. Yeah, we've had many of those such exciting initiatives. Last year, we had a young lady called Natsiraishe Maritza. She's from Epworth near Harare. She's using Taekwondo as a tool to educate young people about the challenges of child marriages and as a tool to advocate for better laws and policies on issues of child marriage in Zimbabwe. Yeah. So when we say innovation, people mustn't just think about technology only or think about ICTs. Innovation is about finding new ways to engage so that people participate in governance processes.
Yeah. Many times people say, these things are for urban areas, people in towns and so on. Are you guys also reaching out to the rural communities, be it Tableland or Mashonaland, in search of these innovative ideas?
Yeah. Our challenge in the past has been that we've had challenges getting many applicants from rural areas or from peri-urban areas, but we're stepping up our our recruitment in those areas. And I'm glad to say in our past 2 cohorts, we've had 1 or 2 people from rural areas who've made it. For instance, last year we had a young lady called Brighton. She's from Buhera, and she's doing some crucial work around accountability in agriculture within that community for things like state-assisted seed inputs. She's also mobilizing farmers to do climate resilience farming, that kind of stuff. So people from rural areas are encouraged to apply, and who are actively seeking them out and hoping to receive more applicants from rural areas.
Right. Let's talk about the Voice to Rap and also the film fellowship as well. How big is it using film and also music to push accountability and transparency?
Yeah, so film and music are very crucial tools for promoting accountability and good governance, especially because those are platforms that resonate with young people. Young people are interested in film, young people are interested in music. And in terms of languages of communication, music and film are universal. So if we use those tools very well, we can be able to spread more awareness on crucial issues that people face in their communities and on crucial issues of accountability and governance that we face in our communities. So our Voice to Rap and our Film Fellow are doing that. So far, they started running in 2021. I think we've trained about 30 Voice to Rap artists. We've done about 30 film fellowship films where we have assisted young people to make those crucial films that tell crucial stories that people face in their communities on a day-to-day basis.
Hi, my name is Alice, an artificial intelligence presenter at site. Tune into the Breakfast Club, a current affairs program on Esaki Online every weekday at 9 a.m. We also have a woman-focused program, Girl Let's Talk, every Thursday at 10 a.m. And Fix My City, a service delivery program at 10 a.m. every Friday on our Facebook page and YouTube channel. Make sure to follow Site on all social media platforms and visit our website at www.site.org.zw.
Guys, if you're just joining us, this is the Breakfast Club. This is Asake Online. My name is Brighton Ncube. Today on the show, I'm joined by Zibusiso Dube from Accountability Lab Zimbabwe. Talk about issues of accountability, integrity, and transparency. Allow me to bring you into the issue of e-procurement system. I know our government launched the e-procurement system, I think last week or 2 weeks ago. One of your calls, one of your entrepreneurs is doing that same idea, same concept. Let's talk about that. Do you think this is going to solve the issue of the procurement system that we've seen in Zimbabwe, where there's corruption, tender dealings, and so on? Do you think e-procurement system is the way to go?
Okay. Yeah, so I think having an e-procurement system that people can access and see, it's one step, it's a positive step towards addressing corruption in the procurement processes. So if tenders are flighted in a platform that everyone can access, and we see the bids that came in, how much people offered and the quality of the product offered, I think if that is made widely available and people participate and actively seek out that information and engage the accountability process of ensuring that procurement is done in a proper way, so it may be a very good step in the right direction.
Someone's watching the show this morning and then they're seeing you talking about integrity icons and so on, and in their village or community, the teacher or policeman doing marvelous work for the community. How can they nominate that teacher or policeman or nurse from their community?
Okay, so our integrity icon is not yet accepting nominations at this point. We'll be having an integrity icon awards at the end of November for the year 2023. Then thereafter we'll be opening nominations. So as from 30 November going forward, if people just check our social media and our website, they'll see where there are links for possible nomination. We'll also be doing outreach, going around trying to reach out to people to look for nominations. But as from 20 November, if people go onto our social media sites, they can nominate there. We're looking for nominations of civil servants that are going over and beyond in their call of duty. It can be a teacher, it can be a nurse, it can be in any other department within the public service. We only exclude the military and the police for this. We're looking for other civil servants who are not the military and the police.
One can wonder and ask, why excluding the military and the police in terms of integrity icons? I know some are doing well in that field. Why excluding them in this integrity icon?
Absolutely, there are definitely policemen and soldiers who are doing great work in their communities. But remember, we only started Integrity Icon 2 years ago. We are slowly easing into it within the context of Zimbabwe. In our first year, it was only for the education sector and the health sector. We have now expanded it to other sectors. In future, I'm hopeful that we could include the security sectors. Then also as the Accountability Lab, we're also expanding our knowledge on these sectors so that we manage it in a proper way here.
Maybe last before I let you go, let's name and fame some of these entrepreneurs who have been part of these cohorts. I know how many cohorts now? 3 or 4?
For the Accountability Incubator, we are into our 3rd one. Okay. Next year, we're moving into the 4th one.
Let's name and fame them, some of them who are doing this wonderful work out there, and maybe name their names and also what they're doing out there.
Okay, that's great. I'll just start from within Bulawayo here. We have Nkosikona DPT, who's running the Community Podium. Community Podium is telling amazing stories, ensuring that rural areas are adequately covered and that accountability and governance challenges faced in rural areas can be heard. So that there can be solutions to that. If you recall, it should be 2 years ago, the Community Podium did some documentaries on access to water and education challenges in Nkai, in Kweluchena, and based on that documentary, there was a GoFundMe campaign that was held, and money was raised to build a block of a classroom block in one of the schools in Kweluchena. So that's an example of the kind of positive impact that we've seen from the work of accountpreneurs. Then we have Courtney. I've already talked a bit about Courtney. Courtney developed an application that I talked about earlier. That application won him an award in the European Council last year for promoting democracy. Those are some of the positive impact that we've seen from the program. There's a lot more happening in terms of impact in local communities. You mentioned Decent Dube. He's also doing great work in Matobo. They are currently in the process of clearing space for an incubator that they want to develop in the area where young people can come there and get trained in certain life skills and also engage on governance issues. So when we see that happening in a rural community, I think that's great progress in as far as promoting development in communities.
I know you always ask this question to people, maybe during interviews and so on. Let me ask this question to you. What does accountability mean to you?
Yeah. What does accountability mean? For me, accountability is simply about adhering to what people require in terms of development and governance. Because in our societies, we elect the government, we elect MPs, we elect councillors, mayors, and so forth, so that they can provide us with services. Accountability is about ensuring that people get those services. It's about day-to-day benefits in the form of service delivery, in the form of good livelihoods for the people. For me, that's what accountability is. Right,
so the last one now is open. The Accountability Lab cohort. We're going to open for the 4th one now. Give us the details. People are watching at home. They want to know, where can I look at these applications? Where can they find those applications?
Okay, awesome. So if you want to apply to be part of the Accountability Incubator or Voice to Rep or the Film Fellowship, just go to our website, which is www.accountabilitylab.org. The details will be there for applications. You can also visit our Twitter page, Accountability Lab Zimbabwe. You'll see some details there. Then specific to Voice to Rep, we also have a Voice to Rep page. It's called Voice to Rep Zimbabwe, or the hashtag is @Voice to Rep ZW, which is VOICE, the number 2, then REP ZW. Yeah, you'll find our details for Voice to Rep there. Then for our Film Fellowship, we have a Twitter page again, which is Film Fellowship, which is ALZ Film Fellowship. If you search for that, you'll see it there. There will be details there about how to apply. For the Voice to Rep, the details are already on those pages. And then for the incubator and the Film Fellowship, as from Friday, that those details will be out for people to access.
Z, thanks so much for your time this morning, for joining us on the Breakfast Club.
Okay, thank you so much, Brighton.
Well, guys, we've been watching The Breakfast Club. This is Asaki Online. My guest this morning was Zibusiso Dube from Accountability Lab Zimbabwe, sharing more about issues of accountability and what they do at the lab there. Hope you guys enjoy the show, and please do follow us on all platforms.